Hi guys, welcome back to my vlog. Today is Sunday, so I haven't done a very good job at picking up the camera all week. It feels like it's been a bit of slow progress, but there are some updates to share with you. So I'm going to take you around and show you everything that's been worked on this week. But the exciting news is that our floor fitter is coming tomorrow on Monday. So we should have all of the downstairs flooring fitted by the end of next week, which will be really exciting. And we've got some final decorative bits to do. So we've got a painter decorator coming back just to finish off. But I'll talk you through the bits as we go around. So the kitchen is looking good. We've put underfloor heating in now under here, and obviously waiting for the floor fitter to come. I don't think this has probably changed that much since I vlogged last time, but we do now have our sort of, I don't know what that's called, like coving or something. We've also been looking at tile samples. We're actually going to go for something that's similar to this one, which is a nice kind of like glossy antique style. And we like the shape of this one, but this is a bit grey, so we're actually going to go for something very similar but in white. So that's going to be done hopefully this week as well, and that'll be sort of brick style, bricklay style, I don't know what to call it. Anyway, so the kitchen is getting there. I've got a lot of bits to unpack, which is my next job today. And then we've also had this cupboard built in here, not cupboard, sorry, shelves, which will be painted as well, so it'll be similar to this. We're doing farrow and bull Wimborne white throughout the kitchen. The downstairs toilet is pretty much there, to be honest. I think this looks similar to what I showed you last time, but yeah, the radiator's back in. We just want to get that painted as well, and then there's a few bits that need to be touched up in there as well. As you can see, the hallway, we are starting to do the panelling, so the builders have got a fair bit left to do. Yeah, we've got some bits down here and this side and here to finish off, but the rest of the hallway is looking good, and we've got it all the way up here as well. So yeah, just a few spots to finish off around the hall, but it's getting there. And nothing new in the office. That's just waiting to get its floor done. So yeah, I think that's it. And then down here, we've not really changed much. We've just, the only update in here actually is that our TV's now mounted on the wall, and we've chased in the cable, but this obviously needs to be touched up and made to look nice and painted and whatnot. So sockets and switches and things all need to be updated as well. Our new lights have arrived. I'm just thinking, does any of this show my address? Hopefully not. This is the light for the lounge, which is going to go up there. And then I can't actually show you these, but they are very similar to this in that they are like the frosted sort of globes, and they've got a gold sort of fitting as well. So they're from made.com, and that's from another website that I can't remember. So yes, lots to do, but lots to unpack still. We've got loads of kitchen bits in here, and we've still got some bits and bobs in here that we need to unpack, because we need to clear everything out of these rooms so the floor can be fitted. So this weekend we've got a really fun, I'm going to have a really fun game of furniture Tetris, trying to move everything around to the different floors. But what we're hoping to do is get the office fitted first, and then hopefully once the floor is down in the office, we can move most of the stuff that's downstairs in the lounge and in the conservatory up into the office whilst the rest of the space gets done. So yeah, that's about it really. Quite short and sweet this week. No big updates. But hopefully by next weekend we will have had a lot more done. The hallways will probably be finished off and painted and decorated. The floors will be down. and it'll be very nearly there. We had a little bit of a disaster with the paneling initially. The builders bought some MDF that was a lot thicker, and then it wasn't sitting very nicely on the new skirting board that we had, so it was actually overhanging. So we had to have a chat with them and say it's just not quite right. And although this is probably a bit thicker than what I thought we would have gone for, overall it is looking quite nice now. So they've just cut it to size. We went round and we sort of marked, oops, my camera ran out of battery. So yeah, they've cut it to size and we've marked out all the spots where we wanted it to go. We've roughly left about a 40cm gap in between each panel, but actually on certain areas of the wall that doesn't work out perfectly, so there's a little bit of flexibility with that measurement. So yeah, this is what it's looking like so far. They need to go around and fill in all the holes and all the joins, and then also caulk around the edges, because I mean they also need to do something with this. I'm not sure exactly what they do. They probably just caulk it. So that all needs to be finished off. Everything's sanded down. The final vertical bars need to go on in some areas, and then we can get on with painting, which will be quite exciting. So what we're doing is we're going to have Dimty, farrow and ball Dimty on the wall, on the coving and on the ceiling, so that all matches. And this is one of the hallway lights that we're going to replace with one of the new ones that is boxed up in the lounge at the moment. And then for the paneling, we're going to go for Joa's white, so paneling, wall, skirting boards, and also our door frames are going to be Joa's white. I think we might also paint the inside of the front door because it's a bit old and tatty looking. And we did wonder about replacing the front door entirely, and we might do that, but at the moment, you know, I don't think we can be bothered to do a new front door because that means new sets of keys and it's quite a big thing to replace. So we'll leave the door as it is, paint the inside, probably paint the outside as well because it's that pinky colour at the moment. And that'll be a sort of temporary fix until we decide what we want to do longer term in terms of changing the door. So yes, it was a bit awkward when the builders originally did it wrong basically. Hey Google, off. But that's a lesson learned. So I think the issue was I had some reference photos that I'd seen online. I'd seen loads of people doing it on Instagram, and I showed them what I wanted, like the look and feel that I wanted to achieve. But I guess some builders don't necessarily do paneling normally, so they weren't really able to, I don't know, guess exact measurements and things like that. They really probably needed much more of a plan to work from to make sure it was right. So after a bit of trial and error, I ended up having to be far more specific about, you know, the thickness of the paneling and the spacing as well. So it's fine, we got there in the end, but it did mean that they had to pull off some of the paneling that they started putting up, which looked awful, and with that they pulled off big chunks of plaster. So they've now had to fill those gaps, and it's now looking a bit tatty. So hopefully once it's been filled again, it will look a lot more neater and I won't worry about it. But yeah, I'll show you what I mean just so you can see. So over here, this is where they first started doing paneling, and they pulled it off because it was wrong. And we've obviously got like these big holes here, which I'm sure they'll just fill. And then they did the same here, and you can see they've already started filling it. But it's not very neat, it's not very tidy. So needs another bit of filler, I think. And then sanding down to make it all look good. And I'm sure it will. What's that? Do you want to go wee-wee? She absolutely loves her garden. Always wants to go in it. So I've just been busy unpacking the kitchen a bit more and trying to find a home for everything. So I'll show you what I've done so far. Now this isn't perfect, and I definitely want to buy some better storage solutions so everything can be far more organised, but as a starting point I think it's not looking too bad. So this is what I'm calling our pantry or our larder cupboard. and I did have these already in our old kitchen cabinets, which fitted perfectly, but they don't fit in these ones because these are far more narrow. So yes, oh, it's not going to focus, there you go. So yeah, started to unpack. To be honest, we don't have loads of food at the moment because we tried to cut down on all our cupboard food and everything like that before we moved, and then because we haven't really had a proper kitchen, we've been eating a lot of takeaways or doing a lot of convenient like dinners basically, so we haven't really replenished our food cupboard yet, but it's getting there and I'm thinking it's looking quite neat. So that's that cupboard. We don't have a handle on this one yet, but it's one of these corner units, so I've just started putting some bits away in here. Seb's got big pots of protein, so we're going to hide that away in the cupboard. And for now, I've put all our sort of extra herbs and spices in this cupboard, but I don't think this is where they're going to stay longer term because I would like them nearer to the hob for when I'm cooking. So what I've done is I've just taken the essential bits out for now and pop them in here, and I've just put them in some Tupperware boxes just to make sure that it's easy to get hold of and grab and go. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of height here, so I'd quite like to get something similar to these sort of stacking shelves, but that fit in this cupboard, so I can have like a platform at the back where I can put things on the top and the bottom and then have things standing in front as well. And then we've got some of our like mugs up the top there, hiding away. And then in this cupboard, I've put our glasses, but I don't think this is the best use of space either. So maybe thinking about doing some sort of organisation in there. Got our air fryer down here. This cupboard's empty at the moment. Haven't really decided what needs to go in here yet. And then we've got all our utensils and cooking things in there. Oh, chair's in the way. Pots and pans have gone in there currently, and then I've got a few other sort of kitchen bits down here, so that's a bit boring. And then we've got another big drawer over here which has got all our cutlery in it and some medical bits, tinfoil, knives, all that jazz. This is our drawer where we're keeping our plates at the moment. But I have seen, and I know someone who's got one, where you get like one of those wooden bases where you put the pegs in, which then means that you sort of have little sections for all your plates and bowls. So I quite like that idea. And then in our bottom one, at the moment it's pretty empty. We've got a bit of Tupperware, some of Sebi's like protein shaky things. This is just odds and sods basically. So yeah, we're still figuring it out. Got some oven trays in here, and then this is quite empty as well. So we've got loads of space, and I don't actually have enough stuff to fill it, which is funny. And then under here we've got even more storage. This is quite a big deep cupboard, so this is quite handy. We've got our slow cooker in here. I've got like a really old school KitchenAid, which I never used in the flat, but I would love to start baking again. I mean, to be honest, it's pretty old and pretty knackered, so I might have to just get rid of it. But yeah, I've got things like food processors and stuff down there because we rarely use them, so they can be out the way. And then this cupboard here is a bit more shallow than the other ones, but I was thinking this could be a good cupboard to put really nice dinner sets and crockery and stuff, or nice glasses or anything like that. We also need a space this is Penny's actual dog bowl. That's her temporary one that we've been using during the move. So that will live down there. And then her biscuits and treats and things like that, I think might go in this cupboard down on the bottom shelf as well. So yes, this is what it's looking like. Need to start putting away stuff as well. I've got these plastic boxes everywhere. I don't think I showed this on I showed it on my Instagram, but I might not have showed. Oh look, Penny wants to come back in. One of my Bezzy mates is an absolute babe, and she saw, like a few weeks ago, I was commenting on these because I saw them online and I fell in love with them. And it is It's the Denby collaboration with John Lewis, and this is the rose quartz collection. And these are the pasta bowls, and they are so gorgeous. There's 4 in the set, and they've all got a slightly different colour. So you see you've got the sort of beigey grey ones, and then the pinky tones underneath. I think this one down here is my favourite. Absolutely love it. So yes, very spoiled indeed by her. Thank you, Becky, if you're watching. And can't wait to start using those, but keeping them all nicely safe in their box for the time being, because I don't want them to get damaged or anything. So yeah, it's all coming together. Just need to figure out what to put where. I've also got all this shelf space here, which I think will be mostly, mostly cookbooks and vases, and probably a booze shelf for Sebi as well. So yeah, that's about it really. Not much else interesting happening today. I'm going to cook a roast dinner later, which is our first roast dinner in the house, which is actually quite exciting. So just waiting for a food delivery to arrive. Watching. Hopefully loads more updates next week once we get the flooring in and all the final bits are being decorated, and also we've gone around and done all the little tiny bits, all the snag list stuff as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again next week. Bye.